Over the last year, Twitter has become incredibly popular. It's had a lot of, users, especially this last year, that come in and just start utilizing it as not only, what it was meant to be, but also as a marketing tool. Now, obviously, it's become more popular by normal users, and that's the reason that internet marketers have jumped on the bandwagon so much. This whole Web 2.0 thing is incredibly popular right now. Well, as Twitter gained its normal usage popularity, of course, internet marketers started jumping on the bandwagon and utilizing it as a marketing tool. Well, consequently, there are, not just for internet marketers, but for everybody, there are a lot of third-party Twitter tools that come up. And for whatever reason, Twitter goes through some changes once in a while. Because of that increased popularity, mostly they have to make changes in the way that they do things. For example, providing an XML feed. They've changed that up a few times to make it where those third-party tools can communicate with what's going on with Twitter. Well, as a result, those changes bring about some tools not functioning properly anymore. Some tools get a lot of use, and then they kind of fizzle out and they disappear. So as of February, this is February 3rd, 2009, I'm going to show you the Twitter tools that are popular right now and the ones that are actually working. If you go out and you do a search for Twitter tools, you're going to find that most of the lists are not up to date, and usually half of the tools that people list are no longer in operation. They're not available anymore. So we're going to go over some tools that, as a normal Twitter user, these are handy tools. And we'll go over some tools that, especially as an internet marketer, these are handy tools. We have already talked about a few tools that are catered, specifically towards marketers in the last video, like Tweet Later, for example, which, by the way, other people use that besides internet marketers, but obviously the auto follow thing, that's pretty handy, for marketers. Twirl is one that we also looked at already. That is an incredibly powerful Twitter client. That's one that I use personally myself. It allows you to have multiple Twitter accounts, see what's going on in all of them, more like, an IM client. And like I said, I use that one personally myself. We've already looked at those. So now we're going to focus on some other tools that are not so much, just tweeting, but helping you in research, helping you in doing some things automatically. Because of this Web 2.0 thing, people are, especially internet marketers, they're using different services. You might use Facebook, you might use MySpace, you might use Twitter. And a lot of times we're using all of these. And wouldn't it be great, if I could just post one thing and it went to Twitter and Facebook? Facebook is very similar, kind of what are you doing kind of thing. And I'd rather not have to go to both of those places and post the same thing. I'd rather have that automatically happen. So I'm going to show you how we do that. A lot of people use Twitter in relation to their blog whenever they post a new article on their blog. So how about we have it where if I post a new article on my blog, something automatically goes out to Twitter to let people know. Just kind of saving steps for us there, okay? So that's a lot of tools that we're going to be looking at. One thing right here inside of Twitter, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, over here where it says search, we're going to click here, and now you can see what's happening right now. What you can do here is look for, something that is in your niche, for example. So you can look for a keyword topic. Let's do Photoshop. So we search on the word Photoshop, and we find lots of entries with Photoshop in it in each one of these entries. Okay, let's go back. We can also see trending topics here. So things that are very popular right now. Super Bowl is going on, so that's a very popular search term. What I don't like about this, though, is it's not very visual. So I'm going to show you TweetScan. This is a service at tweetscan.com. This lets you see, hey, I can tell, what people are really searching for. And you'll notice there's a lot more topics here, a lot more keyword terms than what showed up here on Twitter. And, the size of these lets us know, this is a cloud. The size of these lets us know the volume, the search volume. So right now, Super Bowl is pretty high up there. You can just click on one of these terms here, and it'll show you, what's going on with that particular term. Let's, another thing I wanted to show you here. You can do this on Twitter's regular search or, on TweetScan, something like this. But another thing that is good to do is check up on, you can not only do keyword terms in your niche, you can do people. So let's check this out. Jeremy Burns, and we hit enter. And you know what? It looks like their site is having some traffic problems. So I'm going to go back here to Twitter's search. Same thing applies here. Jeremy Burns, hit enter. And you can see there what you get. Anytime somebody has posted a message to Jeremy, that comes up for me. Okay, so you can use this to keep up on people. And of course, maybe you want to find out if people are posting about you. So you can type in your own username there, and you can see what comes up. Now, let's go ahead and go back to TweetScan and see. Let's F5 that and see if, perchance, their site is back up. If not, we're just going to skip it and move along. It looks like they're still having some problems. So maybe some server maintenance or something. Let's go ahead and head over to HelloText, HelloTXT.com. This is one of those services that allows you to work with multiple networks, different Web 2.0 sites. So this is great. You've got Facebook here, and you've got Twitter. Also, a whole bunch of other ones. LinkedIn is pretty popular. Okay, and a bunch of other different stuff. You go in there, and you can post your one thing, and you can see that go to all those different networks. I, for one, find this extremely helpful because, like I said, these little micro blog kind of things where you just want to update people, just maybe a sentence or two, or maybe you're going to post something about an affiliate offer that you've got or a new product that you launched, something like that. It's kind of lame to have to go through, half a dozen different sites and post the same thing over and over again. So things like this are a real time saver. And it's not all about you, right? People that you're watching, friends that you've got, you can also see what they're doing over here on the friends status. So this is like a centralized, I don't have it set up here, I'm not logged in, but this is like a centralized place where you can not only post to all of those different networks, but the friends that you have in there, the people that are following you, all that stuff, you can see what they're doing. So it's a great utility, for not having to have all these different kind of clients open and different websites open that you're constantly having to go to and check them out. Hopefully this is one of those sites that, toughs it out and stays open because it's a great service. Now, Twibbler is, for those of you that are, into the eBay thing, this is a great tool because what it allows you to do is every time you post something on eBay, every time you put up a new listing, that gets sent to Twitter, and people are going to be able to, keep up with what you're doing. They can click on a link there, and they can check out your auction. What about being able to do videos and pictures? Twit Plus is a service that allows you to, upload video and pictures to your tweets. Now, this is possible to do with Twitter, but it is a little bit cumbersome. I want to say, though, this application here, it seems to be somewhat stagnant. There doesn't really seem to be a lot of development with the application, so I can't make any promises to, how long it's going to be good or how effective it is. But nonetheless, it is a very good idea to make things really simple for people, especially those that are not technically inclined. Twitter feed, this is another one. This is another one that is helpful because it allows you to do something simultaneously, right? What Twitter feed does is allow you to use your blog as the aggregate for posting on Twitter. They actually do it for you. So you set things up, and you can see here, it's a very simple process. Decide which networks you want to post to. So Twitter is one of those. Then you're going to use an OpenID login. That's something, if you don't have that, it's pretty easy to get. It's just a simple, a lot of sites are using that password setup with an OpenID so that you can log into multiple sites with the same username and password. It's a pretty good idea. But you log in with your OpenID password, and you can set that up here if you don't have one, free of charge. And then you point it to your blog's RSS feed and tell them how often to post on your behalf. So then whenever you post a blog article, for example, then Twitter feed goes out there at the specified time that you told it to post, and it's going to grab what that blog post is and post it on Twitter for you. So just one less thing that you have to fool with when setting things up, and that's very handy. This is visual Twitter. This is just something that is kind of interesting. People can, everybody's got cell phones nowadays, and most of those phones have cameras inside of them. So what this is all about is you taking pictures with your camera and posting them to visual Twitter. Now, they do not really work together as far as there's no connection between visual Twitter and Twitter. It's just that instead of you saying, "What am I doing?" you take pictures of what you are doing, and they get posted here. But what you can do is then, after you post a picture here, then you can obviously link to it from Twitter. You can let people know, if you want to keep up on me and what I'm doing with pictures, then you can go here and check it out. Now, like I said, let's see if we can get back to Twitter here. Like I said, there are a lot of Twitter tools that come up, and unfortunately, a lot of them go down. It's a back and forth kind of thing. But what I have tried to pick for you here are ones that are a little bit more stable, ones that are used pretty regularly. Some of them are a little bit new, a little cutting edge. But for the most part, automation is where it's at. And especially the tools that, allow you to function with different social networks, again, like Facebook or Twitter. In particular, the HelloTXT, HelloText.com, that kind of thing is very, very popular.